who was killed by an illegal immigrant, and you don't see many people actually talking about we need to have a national conversation about it. Let's get politics out of the way and deal with crime. Trump is right. Send him to jail, and if the death penalty is appropriate, I'm not for the death penalty, but if it's appropriate in this sense, then so be it.
I don't know about you, Howie. Boston, they have rails. I know Michelle Wu won her primary yesterday, and she's all about progressive politics. How about taking away the funding? Yes, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has an idea, and he told us right here on Newsmax, saying these Democratic-led cities, if they're not protecting their citizens, this is what the government can and will do.
I think every single American watching this show would say, you know what, my tax dollars shouldn't go to fund a transportation system like this or others that a 23-year-old girl who's coming home from work late at night can't get on safely and ride. If that's what they want to have, they can fund it themselves, but my tax dollars shouldn't go to a system.
And just real quick, this is what even Ferguson said about the rail system, because it clearly is something that was on their radar even before this terrible murder.
This is obviously a horrible, horrible situation. But this is why federal statutes exist. They exist to take care of situations like this because no one should sit in fear when they sit on the light rail. If you sit in fear on the light rail, you sit in fear when you walk around the streets of our center city like I do every day. You sit in fear when you go to our parks like I do with my daughter every weekend. You sit in fear at our sporting events, our entertainment venues, at concerts, at restaurants, at our museums. These are all the things that we have worked as a city so hard to build.
Yeah. So later, Howie, it wasn't the exact clip, but later he said, yeah, we basically know this is just a place where homeless people can get air conditioning and ride. What do you think about taking away the federal funding, as Duffy explained?
I think you've got to do something to get their attention. I mean, look, Mamdani in New York said he wants to reduce the population at Rikers Island even more than it already has been cut down. Michelle Wu, as you pointed out, easily won a preliminary election, 71% of the vote. She says it's an attack on Boston and Massachusetts to be rounding up these ICE, these foreign criminals. So you got to get their attention some way. I mean, this whole restorative justice campaign that's been going on since George Floyd, it's a disaster. This is all happening again and again and again across the whole country. There've also been hints in Massachusetts that that Sean Duffy and the rest of the federal agencies may try to take away the funding for the rebuilding of the Cape Cod bridges, which would be $3 billion. And but again, you have to follow the money, as Rush Limbaugh used to say.
All right, I want to play a little bit of a question that came up during yesterday's news conference about why President Trump, who we know is working to keep all cities and Americans safe, a reporter had an interesting take on this, inserting a different narrative.
What's your response to criticism from the left that Trump is targeting black mayors? Isn't he just trying to protect black people?
The president is trying to protect all Americans from crime, and he wants to make all of our cities in America safe. And the fact is, the most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrats.
Why are they going in this racial? I mean, we know why, Melik, but it seems to be such a played out left-wing playbook here. And even USA Today back in August, these black mayors notice a theme to the planned takeovers of cities. Can I get your final thoughts on that terrible storyline that they're pushing?
Yep, this is exactly what I talk about with this tit for tat, where we get into this type of racial, people are trying to foment type of race rage. I'll say I live in Washington, D.C., in the ward, the very area that is a high crime area in D.C. I want Democrats and Republicans to understand that we're not under threat from the military. I haven't seen the National Guard on this side of town, but I have seen the federal agents working with local MPD to get guns and people who've been committing crimes, get them off the street. So I don't fear the National Guard. If the National Guard wants to stay in Washington, D.C. until this time next year, please go ahead. The city will be cleaner for it.